So The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has gotten a massive leak. Don't worry, I'm not going to be showing any of it here in this video, but I do warn you that I may talk about some things that are more like, I guess, vague spoilers. They might kind of, I guess, sort of blend into mild spoilers, depending on who you are. I'm not going to give away anything big. Obviously, I can't say too much to begin with, because the Nintendo ninjas will come after me. And so I don't want that either, and I also don't want to spoil it for you guys. So again, there's going to be some vague stuff. I will talk about some certain things on a more, like I said, a more kind of super vague way that's just kind of not really give you the details. And again, I'm not going to go into anything that's going to show anything. Even if I could, you know, I would give you obviously a massive warning if I was to do that, but I'm not doing that here in this video. All I'm going to be playing up on screen is some of the trailers as B-roll, and that's pretty much that. Okay, so you've been warned on that front. If you want completely blind, then, you know, don't move forward. But again, I'm going to be pretty vague with this. It might, like I said, might go into mild stuff. Just be warned. We want to talk about that really quick. So first things first, I will say I don't usually cover like too many leaks for the most part. I'll cover selective leaks, and I was going to avoid this one. This is why I'm recording this late, but this is something I really wanted to talk about because it's gotten my excitement for the game even, I guess, even more enhanced, if that was even possible, for lack of a better phrasing. The game already looks insane, but basically what happened is that there was at least 50, I think it was like 51 or 52 pictures from the art book that got leaked. First of all, the art is amazing. You know, it looks fantastic, but one thing that this has done is I think that it has solidified the I guess the stance that this is not just some expansion. This is not some like big DLC or something, right? Because some people were like, oh, is Tears of the Kingdom just some kind of like big DLC or something? Is just some kind of like big paid expansion or something? No, that's not. This is not this at all. Yes, it's set in the same world, and again, the trailers already showcased this. But the art book just solidifies this even further, that this is its own massive game, okay? There's a lot in this art book. Again, I cannot go into like too many specifics with you guys, but it's pretty insane. I mean, I'm talking about stuff like environments, right? We're seeing environments that, honestly, if you've seen the pictures, you would understand what I'm about to say. This is one of the things where I feel is like maybe mild spoiler territory, but I feel it's more vague because, again, I'm not sure if this is even that. And so I'm going to use the word suggest. Okay, some of these pictures seem to suggest that the return, and this has been something that we've been speculating for a while, and it's been hinted at anyway, so it's not that big of a spoiler. But it seems to suggest that the return of your traditional kind of dungeons is going to be taking place. We're going to be, having the traditional dungeons return. But it's suggested. I don't know for sure. It's not explicit in these pictures. But it seems to suggest that notion, right? And that's probably the biggest spoilery thing I'll say in this video. Besides that, it shows, some enemy types, and obviously there is, some new, not just enemies really. There's certain pictures that I don't know if it's an enemy or if it's a friend, right? Is it friend or is it foe? I don't know. So let's just say there's different creatures showcased in here that we have not seen in Breath of the Wild, which again is not spoilery because it was kind of a given. They're not just going to reuse all the same assets. Plus, the creatures and enemies that we did see in the previous game, like the bokoblins, for example, we can see that they have changed even then in the new trailer. And we also see in the new trailer there are new creatures, right? We've seen that three-headed dragon, for example, in the most recent trailer, which is insane to say the very least. So we see that, but we also see things like gear. We have some certain gear. So how like in Breath of the Wild we had different kinds of outfits, for example. So they show stuff like that, right? So obviously, you would assume stuff like that is going to return. Again, these are just things that are pretty much concrete. But also, like, not just the outfits, but also certain gear like we've seen in the trailer, right? You know how we've seen in the trailer there's that kind of special, I don't even know what it is. It's like it's like a dragon looking thing. It's like a stick with looks like a dragon cannon on the end. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. but like that, we've seen that in a trailer. They show more stuff in that kind of realm of things, like special kind of gear, I guess I could call it, right? So again, that's kind of, you know, stuff that's obvious, right? We're gonna see other kind of special gear in the game, and gear that, like, again, the art book shows off certain gear, but all this is done, and people are going to ask me, and people already have asked me, they're like, why did you look at the art book? First of all, my curiosity got the best of me. Second of all, it's so vague that these pictures only stemmed more confusion out of me than anything. Because again, a lot of this gear it's very vague. It's like, you'll see a piece of gear and you're like, whoa, that looks cool. That looks crazy. Okay, what does it do? And I literally have no idea what its purpose is. I have no idea how you get it. I have no idea its connection to anything. It just looks cool, but I'm like completely clueless. So again, it's something where it's like, okay, you are kind of spoiling, you know, certain elements for yourself, but again, I feel like these pictures are pretty vague for the most part. I mean, some of them, I guess if you start kind of like, you know, really looking at, there is one picture where it's not really explicit, but it has some very interesting imagery in it that would, you know, that I'm sure if you took some time dissecting, excuse me, you could kind of come up with something and figure out, you know, at least an idea of maybe what's going on. And then again, there's all these different, you know, pictures of all these different enemy types. There is this one thing that is really cool, but I'm not going to talk about it. So I don't even know why I mentioned it, but it's really cool. I just kind of looked at it as I'm commentating this, but yeah, I don't know. For the most part, in terms of like NPCs and stuff like that as well, you know, they show some of those also. Again, I'm not going to spoil that part of anything either, because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to tell you guys, oh, you know, there's these NPCs that look like this, or, you know, or whatever. I will say that from the trailer, we've seen that it seems like Link is riding Epona, which apparently was only accessible through an amiibo before, which I forgot about. If we're seeing the return of Epona, right? Obviously, Epona, like I said, wasn't really part of Breath of the Wild, not like ingrained in the core game itself, right? But it seems like Epona is playing some kind of, you know, key part in this new game with the trailer that we've seen. That begs the question: are they gonna try to bring back some old characters from, you know, previous franchises, or characters that are gonna be familiar to us? Again, I don't really know for sure from this artwork. It's, you know, like I said, there's only 50, I think there's like 50 pages or something, and you got to keep in mind, right, there's 50 pages, but the art book, I'm looking at some of the pages on the art book, and it, you know, because the art book is labeled with numbers, and I think I've seen page like 120 or something, so there's at least like 150 plus pages probably in this book. So you got to keep actually there's a page that says 179, so it's probably like similar, I'm guessing, just by looking at it. I said this before, the Xenoblade Chronicles one is like 250 pages, and it looks kind of a similar, you know, size as that one. So I'm guessing it's probably like 250 to 300 pages long. That's just my guess. I don't know for sure. But anyways, lots of interesting stuff in here. Again, I wanted to just kind of talk about it vaguely, just to get it off of my chest, first of all, and just to kind of, you know, share my hype, because I'm really hyped. And like I said, you know, I can't say too much because, like I said, Nintendo Ninjas. And even then, if I could show you guys, you know, I might do it if I had, like, you know, give you guys a really big spoiler warning. But even then, I don't know for sure if I would, because again, this is like sketchy territory, right? You're always kind of unsure, should I cover these kind of leaks or not? I figured this kind of video was very, very, very vague, and so I was like, you know what, let's just talk about it, you know, in a very vague way. There is a couple other things that I will say that if you go look, not everything is vague about these pictures. There are some pictures that I'm not even talking about at all, because I think they are getting into more a little heavier spoiler territory. So if you do go look up these pictures, do it at your own discretion. You know, you could get some, again, it's not like massive spoilers, but stuff that, like, again, most of it is stuff that, like, if you don't think about too hard, you're just like, oh, that looks cool, but I have no idea what that is. But if you think about it more and more, then you start connecting some dots, and you start thinking like, oh, okay, I think I might know what's going on here, or at least have a better, you know, idea. And so you might have some more, I guess, heavier, not massive, but heavier spoilers. I don't know if that makes any sense. So again, look it up at your own discretion. I'll link Nintendo Everything down in the comment section below, because they posted all the pictures. Maybe Maybe it's still up by the time you see this video. Maybe it's not. By now, the pictures are out there. Again, I feel like most of this stuff is stuff that we could probably end up seeing in a Nintendo Direct anyways. So I don't think, that's what I mean. I don't think it's like, you know, spoiling massive plot points. I just think it's stuff that, like, it's spoiling that we haven't seen officially revealed yet. That's basically the gist of it, at least from my perception. I could be wrong. For some of you, it could be massive spoilers, so be careful, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Be careful. And if you have seen it, what do you think, man? Are you hyped? Are you hyped, or what do you think? I mean, I'm pretty sure you can't not see these things and not be hyped. I'm excited. So we're gonna be covering Tears of the Kingdom. It's gonna come out. We're gonna talk about all the official stuff, obviously, as that comes. We're gonna play through it, Lord willing, all goes as planned. I'll bring you guys more guides. It's been what, 5 years since we did those guides. Some of those guides have blown up. A lot of you guys have subscribed from it. I'm excited to do it all over again. So stick around for more, and I'll see you guys soon in another one. Till then, my friends, game on. I'll see you guys later.